Go, 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 Chewie. It's my birthday. We're going to review you like it's my birthday. We're going to open you up like it's my birthday. And then we're going to talk about you because it's my birthday. Marshmallow Fanboy back with another review. This time of 3 different Chewbaccas, 2 Black Series, including the archive, and 1 Diamond Select Toys figure, a Disney Store exclusive. So why did I pick Chewie for my birthday? And also, is it really my birthday? Yes. Today is actually my birthday. I post long-form videos on Tuesdays and Fridays, and I thought, there's a slot for my birthday. So I'm actually recording this in February. That's cheating. I know. You got yourself birthday presents already? Isn't that cheating? It is, but, you know, at my age, you sort of don't get a whole lot for your birthday. So, that's fine. I got my own stuff. So, let me tell you a little bit about why I decided on Chewbacca. 1, I haven't gotten a new Chewbacca figure since the very first figure back in, 2015. The archive figure says what it is. 2015. I think there was one other Chewbacca figure, maybe from the last prequel series that I might have picked up. But other than that, I haven't gotten an original trilogy Chewbacca figure because I haven't really needed one. And it occurred to me that a really good friend of mine who I've known for a couple decades bought me a Chewbacca one year on my birthday. It was a Power of the Force Chewbacca. And back then, they were releasing those figures after a drought of figures, about a decade's worth of drought of figures, nothing on the stands. I think they released those Timothy Zahn novels, and we lost our minds and made that bestsellers. It was the only, we were grabbing up anything Star Wars we could get our hands on. There was no sort of market back then there's no eBay. There was no, big bad toy store. There was no Amazon back when the Power of the Force figures were coming out. You had to get them. You had to just be lucky. And you had to go to a toy store and just hope for the best. And my luck was not great with that stuff. And so a lot of people were getting those figures and then selling them to comic book stores, or comic book stores were managing to get those somehow. I'm not sure if it was through Diamond or they just, before they opened up the store in the morning, maybe they raided their Walmart or their Target or whatever else was opened at that time, their Mervyn's. I'm dating myself. That's a long time ago. But they were getting these figures, but the comic stores were beefing them up. If a figure was $20, they're beefing it up to $35. It's a practice they don't do as much anymore because you can't compete with Amazon and free shipping. The only thing you can hope to do is surprise somebody walking through the door with a figure that they would have paid $25 for on Amazon, but it's $25 right there in the store, and sort of get somebody to buy something, based on, oh, look at that. That's cool, and that's reasonably priced. I'll buy it. But you can't let somebody walk out of your store thinking, I can get that cheaper on Amazon, or I wouldn't pay that. I'll wait till it goes down on Amazon. There's a lot of options now. They weren't available when the Power of the Force Chewbacca came out. So when she bought it for me, I didn't have the figure, but I also couldn't find like any of the other figures. I eventually got them all. I had a friend who was really, really looking for these hard, and he was a landscaper, and throughout the day he would, on his way from this job to that job, he would hit stores, and he would go on toy raids and sort of, get whatever was missing, but he had a list of things that I needed too, and I was able to cross Chewbacca off my list. Chewbacca, one of my first figures from the Power of the Force line. So I thought it'd be appropriate, because I was going to get the archive one for the roaring face, because Chewbacca has, really 2 expressions. It's the one where his mouth is closed and one where his mouth is open. And I thought, well, I can complete that loop. But also I was curious about the Diamond Select Toys Chewbacca. And I ran into the Return of the Jedi one while I was looking for... I can't remember. I think I was looking for the archive figure at GameStop. And I ran into the archive figure at the comic store, so I bought that there. The Diamond Select Toys one I had to get on eBay because it wasn't available anymore on the Disney store. But also, I got a great deal on it because it's eBay. And Chewbacca I got from GameStop as well. So I got these all three, which is unusual for me. I usually wait for sales and things like that. But for the Diamond Select Toys Chewbacca, it was always kind of on sale because he wasn't super popular. But I think the line has ended. I don't think you're going to get any more. I think with the Diamond Select Toys you had Darth Maul, you had Boba Fett, you had Stormtrooper, and Chewbacca, and that was it. You had 3 bad guys, 1 good guy, and that 1 good guy was not the one that everybody was hoping for. Or I completely missed out, and there's 15 of these figures running around, and there's a Luke and a Han and everything else. So the standard no window packaging is just what you expect. The artwork on the side is really cool, which I imagine if you line up with the other Return of the Jedi figures. I wasn't a big on getting the Return of the Jedi figures, only because I've gotten them once before, so I wasn't going to get them again. Chewbacca was different. Chewbacca's never had the chain around his neck from being led into Jabba's palace by Boushh in the beginning of Return of the Jedi, so I thought that was worth taking a look at. But also the archive figure again has the roaring face, and you can see on the back he has kind of a docile face. You probably can't see that, but I'm going to pull out my original Chewbacca figure, and you can see the non-roaring version of Chewie. Chewie, of course, was re-released with the 40th anniversary figures. They were carded as well. I didn't open any of my carded figures from that series, except for the figures that hadn't been released before. So things like the Tusken Raider hadn't been released before. I don't think the Death Star Gunner had ever been released, and I don't think we had a Darth Vader. Maybe we had a Darth Vader. I'm not absolutely sure, but if I didn't already have that figure, I got 2 of them, 1 to open and 1 to keep in a package, because it was the 40th anniversary, and because I'm a little nutty, so I did that. So that's the story behind that. And then the Diamond Select Chewbacca is 7-inch scale. He scales well with McFarlane figures, I'd imagine. I imagine he's quite a bit taller than Boba Fett or Darth Maul, who I'm not going to open this video, mostly because I'm not sure exactly where they are, and I don't feel like looking for them. But also, on the back, I don't know if I went through the back with everything else. Let me see if I can go back to the Return of the Jedi one. Just a nice product shot. 1 paragraph in English, and the rest of them is multilingual, so that everybody gets sort of the same experience. Kind of have, what you get inside Chewie and the chain and the bowcaster. Is that what it's called? I can't remember. The repeater? I don't know. And the archive figure, of course, on the back has that really good A New Hope portrait of Chewie firing with Han usually right beside him on the Millennium Falcon ramp, escaping from the Death Star. It was a really famous image. It's a really cool image. Of course, the 2005 archive photo, 2015 archive photo, and what it looked like when it came out with that red background and everything. Of course, on this, it has details about what it comes with, but it's written in Star Wars language, which I super don't appreciate. I wish they'd have, especially with the bandoliers, they would have said what movies these came from to see which ones were specific. I think the blaster is just the Stormtrooper blaster from A New Hope, where they're escaping, but it could also be, there he did wield a Stormtrooper blaster in Empire Strikes Back, and I don't know. I wish they would have put a little bit of, hey, this is why we put this in the package with him. But nothing. I'm going to have to research that on my own. And research I won't. Because I don't have to. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. Shake my Chewie. Sorry. That was, I never do puns. So, it's my birthday. I can do puns. And this is a 10-minute intro. It's gone way too long. But let's bust these things out of their packages and see what we think of them in person. Now that they're out of the package, and I've opened all my presents, let's take a closer look at Chewbacca's, plural. I put a little birthday backdrop on it. I got a card that says happy birthday to a great guy, which seemed a little self-serving, and now I'm like pretty happy about, because it looks like somebody else got it for me. Of course, if you say it out loud, now everybody knows, and I just did, so. Take two. Boop. Anyway, I got a bow. I got some confetti. I put them on the turntable for the YouTube shorts, and I sprinkled confetti on it. And then I thought to myself, I could just upload the video on Canva and just shower, the animated confetti on it. And then I thought, I'm going to have to get some of this shiny, stupid crap off the carpet now. The life of an action figure collector. Some of you are going, no, it isn't. Action figure collectors don't pick confetti off of carpets, you weirdo. And they also don't sprinkle confetti on a turntable, you double weirdo. Okay, let's start with the Diamond exclusive, or I should say the Disney Store exclusive Diamond Select Toys Chewbacca, which comes with a bandolier, which I'm pretty sure is either, it's not prequel. I think it was the sequel series. This, not a Stormtrooper rifle. I thought, it's definitely a Stormtrooper rifle, but it's got a little pump here. I don't know, maybe it was from Solo. Maybe if you put that on him, he's Chewbacca from Solo, or I'm not sure what this is from and what this is from. I just know that with the Diamond Select Toys Chewbacca, you're getting a bunch of his on-screen appearances in one figure, which is really cool. And I'm not going to go through the articulation for everything for a couple reasons. No double jointed anything. It's the same articulation scheme as on most of the Black Series, except again, no, double arm, where you don't have any thigh cuts or anything else. You have swivels kind of at the hips, swivels at the knees, swivels at the elbows, things like that. So they're hidden on Chewbacca, which I really appreciate. It'd be really weird to have thigh cuts and weird. Well, I guess it doesn't rotate at the thighs at all, which is fine. I don't give up that sculpting for it. The sculpting itself is really nice. Just the luxurious brushed back hair, like he was at the Millennium Falcon, gambling. Well, he was playing chess, but I don't know what he was playing for, but my feeling is there were stakes involved. And I guess the stakes were, the droid's survival. Lots of good sculpting on this. Very different from not very different. I mean, it's basically the same as, I don't know what this is beneath the mask. It's like flesh colored. It's like Peter Mayhew's under there. Hey, Peter, are you under there? Like, because he was wearing a mask, and that's human skin back there. It's just super weird, and they probably should have done something about that. It's just unnerving / unnecessary. I don't think that should have been there. But that is him. He's taller compared to a regular size Black Series figure by about another foot. I mean, he's not maybe noticeable next to a Black Series Chewbacca, but next to maybe a Black Series Han Solo, he's quite a bit taller. But gosh, I don't. Well, no, I mean Chewbacca didn't come up to his, up to his mid chest or anything. So it is obviously out of scale with a 6-inch Han Solo next to it. But he's a huge character, and he'd look good if it was, I don't know. I guess Darth Vader would look really radically out of scale at 7" too. And I was looking forward. I thought, well, maybe just a giant Chewbacca would look really good next to Han, but it's not like a Hulk figure where if you get an enormous Hulk figure, you can kind of go, well, some artists draw him extremely big. Chewbacca is the same size in most entertainment because it's to scale. People know what it's supposed to look like, so they kind of stick to that. The Jabba's Palace, I'm not going to call him Jabba's Palace Chewbacca. Return of the Jedi Chewbacca has that chain, and the chain is molded around his neck. It's just really nice sculpting. I thought the chain came off. I thought the collar would come off if maybe you took off his head or something like that, but that collar is 1000% molded right to the head. And of course it's got that dejected look, and the fur is kind of down like it was in the movie. Like he was just kind of exhausted and kind of tired. I don't know, man. It looks like there's no light in his eyes. He's like, I don't like this. The chain isn't very long on Chewbacca, so you're going to have to get Boosh up close. And Boosh can hold the chain easily. I think she probably hold it by the loop also, though. I don't remember the loop. It seems like her arms were at her side pretty, I don't know. It does seem like she had to reach way up to kind of drag him, which should have been sort of a red flag anyway. I mean, who has the muscle to sort of physically drag a Chewbacca around? I know he was probably handcuffed too. They don't have handcuffs, which would have been a nice touch also, but just to put this together with Boosh and Chewie on the chain sort of completes a scene. If you have the Comic-Con exclusive Jabba the Hutt with all the accoutrements and everything that went with it, and you've got the skiff Lando, and you've got the black costume or uniform Luke Skywalker, and you've got Han and Carbonite. There was a Black Series Han and Carbonite. I can't remember if that was. I think that was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not absolutely positive. I kind of passed that up. I thought it would, that would be kind of an evergreen thing, and it would, but it wasn't re-released. I don't think. There was everybody has had a Return of the Jedi showing, so the chain Chewbacca definitely completes a scene for somebody. You can see the original expression. He is kind of growling. It looked like in the picture on the back of the card, he was more docile, but I could still see teeth. So it looks like between the original and the archive, it looks like the same expression. It looks like maybe there's a little more ferociousness to the archive series one, but it looks like the original had him growling. It's just maybe colored a little bit different. There doesn't seem to be a lot of difference between the two of them. It seems like they're essentially the same action figure. So now how can I tell them apart? Well, the one that was the original doesn't have a weapon because I left the weapon in the other room. So the weapon's there. Ha! But looks good with your Han Solo. They did a re-release of this figure to coincide with the Power of the Force anniversary. The Power of the Force, the whole reason I'm doing this review is because I got that Power of the Force Chewbacca from someone, and this was a celebration of the Power of the Force. It came in sort of the bubble package that was reminiscent of that series. And there is an updated version of this figure that I have, but I have not opened. I wanted to keep it in that great retro card, so I did. So I'm going to do this like the Darth Vader review I did, where I had like 5 Darth Vaders. If I were to get one of these, just one of these, and I can't do the Diamond Select one because he's out of scale. He's a monster. He doesn't fit into anything. He's enormous. He probably looks really good standing next to, a DC multiverse figure. Maybe he looks great standing next to Superman. I don't know. But I know that he wouldn't look great standing next to any of the Black Series figures. So that leaves the Return of the Jedi, the Archive, and the original. And like I said, there's no real difference between the Archive one and the original. The Archive one, the satchel bag, looks like it's a little bit bigger. And on the original, no, damn it, that looks the same. And on the original, the both of the buckles are done. And on this one, looks like only one buckle is done. Man, was the original just superior in every other way? Maybe the original was the only one you needed to get. You know what? That's going to be maybe my verdict is the original one is still the only one you really need, because he's got everything you need. He came with the crossbow, or the bowcaster rather, and though he doesn't complete a scene like Chewie on a chain, he's essentially the same as the Archive figure. If you don't have him, the Archive figure is best. If you didn't have if you already have the original, don't bother with the Archive figure. And since the Archive figure's been out for over a year, I'm guessing that nothing I say is going to make you buy it or make you take it back. But you might get it out and pose it next to the original and realize, oh man, did they just con me into buying another one? The paint's a little bit different, and the detailing is really nice on both of them, but I don't see any real noticeable differences. And I kind of sort of looked at the sculpting for the fur and everything, and I think maybe the Archive one, the paints bring out the layers of the fur a little bit better. But other than that, I can't vouch for it at all. I think most of the re-releases were superior, but I think that the Archive figure didn't really improve on anything from the original. It didn't give us anything extra. It didn't give us any reason to sort of get it again. But that was kind of the point of the Archive figures, right? Was to give you something that maybe you missed the first time around. But with Boosh, it was so well done, and like I really appreciated finding it at Ross for however much I found it at. It was cheap. It was real cheap. But if you have the original Chewbacca figure, you have one figure that will sort of blend into any of your displays from any of your movies. Unless it's the one that uses this weird shotgun with a double bandolier. Then it'll look odd. But I don't know that Hasbro has put that Black Series figure out with a sort of a double bandolier and a shotgun. But maybe that's coming down the road sooner or later. So until next time, and until my next birthday, enjoy opening your toys on your birthday.